Hello everyone, I'm Jacob Kaufman with Nerd on the Street Gaming today, and we are taking a look at the Love Live School Idol Festival mobile game. Alright everybody, so I don't normally make videos for the gaming channel on YouTube anymore, the Nerd on the Street gaming channel. And I don't normally make gaming videos for the Nerd on the Street website anymore either. The reason I'm making this video today is because it is currently March 30th, 2023, and it is currently 10:16 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. In about 2 hours and 45 minutes, the Love Live School Idol Festival mobile game will be discontinued. They are taking the servers offline. I think it's 4 p.m. Japan Standard Time, midnight Pacific Standard Time, which means I have until 1 a.m. here in Mountain Time to enjoy this game. Now, I'm not actually the biggest hardcore fan of this game or anything. I just started playing it last year. The game's been around for like a decade. Like I said, the game is called Love Live School Idol Festival, abbreviated as SIF. And this is a mobile game that originally had characters from the Love Live School Idol Project anime, and then later the Love Live Sunshine anime. Since I am somewhat a fan of that franchise, I've written a blog post on my anime blog, mountains.moe, about it. Since the game is literally going offline, I don't like, dead software or dead games any more than anyone else. This game requires a server to function, and people might reverse engineer it later, but there's no guarantee of that, so this might just stop working altogether. I did play School Idol Festival a really decent amount. I played it really hardcore for like a week or two last year. There was an event that was going on, and I was brand new to the game, and I didn't realize how much you actually had to invest to succeed in these events. And so I saw an event that was going on, started playing to try and earn a reward from this event that I'll show you in a minute. And this was when I was working full-time and doing my master's degree in college full-time, so I was very stressed out during the day. So at night, I would basically just spend, an hour or two in bed playing a rhythm game. And yeah, that event really was my main exposure to this game. I've played it every now and then since that event, because it was basically an event that was going on when I joined the game or shortly after. I've played sporadically, maybe once a week or once every couple weeks since then, once a week on average. But yeah, for that week or two that the event was going on, I needed to earn a certain number of points to get a reward in the game. And yeah, like I said, I was not familiar with the ridiculous amount of time that people actually spend on these. And I think you can spend real world money to like speed that up, but of course I'm not going to spend real world money on an anime game on my phone. But yeah, in just a minute, I just wanted to make a quick video for the gaming channel and for the blog showing what this game was about, since it will no longer be available to play. Now I've got my Android phone right here. I guess I'll turn the brightness all the way up. Nope, gotta turn it lower down than that. How's this? All right, that's doing pretty well focus-wise. So you can see I've actually got two icons on my home screen. There's Love Live on the left, and that is School Idol Festival. On the right, it says, what does it say? It says Love Live AS. That is Love Live School Idol Festival All-Stars. That is a separate game. And when I first was trying to get into the Love Live games. And how this started was I watched the Love Live anime. And the third Love Live series, Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club, that was sort of a spin-off TV series that was using characters who were originally from these games. So the games started off with the characters from the original Love Live series, and then the games also added in a bunch of just sort of background characters that were original to the game. So that was Love Live School Idol Festival that I'm about to show you. Now eventually Love Live did some sort of poll. They started doing surveys with fans and players of the game saying, who do you like the most? Which idols from School Idol Festival, which original game characters do you like the most? And then the people who won the contests or the surveys for who people liked the most in School Idol Festival, they basically made a separate game, All Stars, which has different gameplay mechanics, and then it's got a lot of story for the original characters from this game. So like I said, I was very confused when I first went to get into the games because I heard these terms on like Love Live subreddit. I heard the term School Idol Festival and I heard the term All Stars, SIF, and SIFS for the abbreviations. And I was always just kind of like, there's two games? I was unclear on it until I actually went to download them. And yeah, they are indeed separate apps entirely. At this point, they're owned by separate companies since the original School Idol Festival game got licensed out to a different third party. Those licensing rights were sold a couple years ago, and some people predicted it would be the death of the game. And a few years later, here we are. But yeah, basically, if I was going to describe these to somebody today, before School Idol Festival is discontinued, I would describe it like this. Love Live School Idol Festival is a rhythm game, and it's got like some very basic fluff story to it. And then Love Live School Idol Festival All-Stars is a story game, and it's got some very, very basic sort of rhythm game stuff to it. But the original School Idol Festival that's being shut down, it was really a skill-based game. It was a rhythm game, and you're going to see it in a minute. It's difficult to play. You're using basically all of your fingers if you want to, depending on how you hold your phone. And you have to hit these notes basically in time with the rhythm that they're displayed on the screen. Rhythm games aren't really an indication of how good your actual rhythm is. I was very frustrated. My first rhythm game that I ever played was the open source Osu on my Linux PC. And I was frustrated because I've got good rhythm and I am, I've got experience and background in music. And I was like, why am I so bad at this game? But when you think about it, the beat maps for these rhythm games, it's not like playing an instrument. Like, they don't actually correspond to notes. The position of beat map entries do not correspond necessarily even to, rhythms that individual instruments are making. The beat map is sort of synchronized to visually coincide with the rhythm, but it's really, like I said, nothing like playing an instrument at all. Completely different skill set, and I'm not great at it. But yeah, the School Idol Festival All-Stars that is still around, it uses a much different mechanic, and basically it's very, very easy, except it actually limits you based on how far you've gotten through the story and how much you've interacted with other aspects of the app. And if you haven't gotten far enough in the story in All-Stars, then it won't actually let you pass songs when you're trying to complete them. Even if you're hitting all the notes perfectly, you can still fail the song in All-Stars. That's not how it works in the original School Idol Festival. School Idol Festival, like I said, it was skill-based, so if you play a song on Extreme, if you've never played that song before, if you open the app up for the first time, set it to the hardest setting. If you are good enough and you hit all the notes, then you will pass it. But that's very unlikely because it does get very difficult, like I said. So yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much. I just wanted to give a brief background of what this app is that I'm showing you. I'm going to try to record this on the phone. I'm also going to have the camera pointed at the phone so you can see how I'm holding it and how it actually looks like to play it. Also, because I'm not sure how the screen recording is going to work with this app. It's interesting, when I installed these, this is the first phone that I ever played this on. I installed these apps when I put this installation of Android on this phone. This is a Xiaomi Mi 10T, and I got it for free when I was doing my Yode review on the tech channel here at Nerd on the Street. But right now I just have plain Lineage OS with Google Apps on it. And it was really interesting. I've got this phone rooted, which if you're not an Android user, rooted means I've got access to modify app details, copy app data off of the phone, so I can back it up in case this phone gets broken or stolen or lost. I like to have my phone rooted so that I can actually make complete backups, but some apps don't actually want you to be able to make backups, so you need sort of escalated privileges in order to do that. But it was really interesting. Both of these apps are installed from the Google Play Store. However, unlike this Fire Emblem game that I also have installed, that one I actually had to sideload because on Google Play, they've got it marked where it won't even let you install it if your device is not meeting all of Google's security requirements. But I can still get it just by downloading the APK. It works fine, so it's clearly not a technical limitation. But yeah, the Love Live games, I was able to install them both from Google Play. The All-Stars game, the new one that is still going to be around, it works perfectly fine on a rooted device. The original School Idol Festival does not work if your phone is rooted, if it can tell that it's rooted. Now I'm using Magisk here for root on my phone, and Magisk has a feature where you can go in and basically check some apps that you don't want to be marked as rooted, and you don't want to use any root options with them, and it will also keep the app from being able to tell that the phone is rooted sometimes. Now, this doesn't always work. For instance, the LG Think app, ThinQ, whatever they pronounce it as, that app, it still knows the phone is rooted even when I'm using this list feature to try to hide that. It checks if the phone is rooted using other means. But the Love Live app, it actually started working when I added it to this deny list in Magisk. So if you don't allow the Love Live app to get root privileges, then it doesn't know the phone is rooted. And I do think I know a different workaround for that LG app. I just didn't want to apply it because I don't actually need that app. But Love Live, I really wanted to play. It was a whole deal getting it working. This was back when I was living in an apartment. And yeah, just the loading screen music is kind of nostalgic just from how much data I had to download the first time. I finally got it to start working. I had it sitting there playing the loading music for 20 or 30 minutes maybe. And yeah, I assume part of the reason why it did not like rooted phones is because School Idol Festival, since it's skill-based, it is competitive sometimes. All-Star is not as competitive since it's not skill-based, I guess. That might be why they dropped trying to figure out if your device is rooted or not. But yeah, because of that sort of extra layer of protection, I'm not sure if it's going to let me record this. Japanese companies also get weird about copyright. I'm sure this video is going to get a copyright claim on YouTube. If it doesn't go down altogether, that would be good. I have not found a whole lot of Love Live songs on YouTube, so it's possible the video could actually get a strike rather than just a claim. But I might still have the video up on my blog if that happens, because my blog does not have Content ID. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and I'll start screen recording. I'm going to show you this game because we only now have 2.5 hours to play it. All right, so I'm here. I've got the camera actually pointed at my bed just so I don't have to worry about the phone scraping around and making noise on a desk. And I've also turned the screen brightness way down. The phone is actually darker than I would normally use it at when the lights are on in a room to me, but for the camera, it looks like that's good. Actually, you're getting glare from the light. Here, we'll just turn the light off. I've still got light from the computer in the room with me here, and it looks like the camera can still see this phone okay, and I can see it better now too. Okay, so I'll just start recording. All right, so I've got the screen record here set to record device audio, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, we should be recording our screen on the device here. Swipe away VLC, I was playing some Aqua music in theme for this video. So we'll go ahead and open up Love Live. It does operate entirely in landscape mode. You hear one of the characters says Bushimo every time you start the app. And I've got no audio. Interesting. There should be sound right now, actually. So I wonder if that's a thing with... okay. Why do I not have any sound? Am I actually restarting? Bushimo. It says Bushimo. Okay, does this have to do, is it not going to play audio if I'm recording? Let me stop recording on the device. And then open it up. Huh. I actually don't know what's going on here. Normally there would be menu music, and I wanted to capture that since this was like I said, a pretty nostalgic experience, particularly on the menu for me. But for whatever reason, we are not getting any sound out of the app right now. We're getting sound effects, but no music. Hoping that doesn't mean that the app is shut down early. Oh, here we go. Okay, so... this is one of the 2 songs that plays when you're downloading things. And yeah, like I said, I listened to the downloading music for a very long time, the very first... It was maybe 10 or 20 gigabytes. The first time I tried to boot this. So as you can see, every time you log in, you get a login bonus. Total login, oh, I logged in 69 days, almost 70 days total. So like I said, I wasn't a huge expert at this game or anything, but as you can see, it's got a calendar. It shows you the days that you've gotten the login bonus just for logging in. They do that to try and get you to log in every day. I was actually getting the bonus every day when I was participating in that event, for however long that went on. As you can see, I haven't been logging in very much this month just because I've been very busy with other things, and playing phone games, playing any games are not my top priority. But yeah, we can X out of that calendar. Oh, okay, so log into the game 79. So I've done it 79 times? Log into the game 81. Okay, never mind. It wasn't the original number. Log into the game 80. 82. What's the highest number? So maybe 82 times is the number of times I've logged in to Love Live School Idol Festival. You get this pop-up that comes up, and you can ignore it and have notifications build up, or you can just read through all the notifications. Oh, this is sad. This character, Shizuku from Nijigasaki, her birthday event, I guess, started. Normally birthday events go for like a week when a character's having a birthday, I think. Maybe it's only their one day, because yeah, this was less than a 24-hour period you could log in, because the game is shutting down, yeah, like I said, 4 p.m. at 3:31. Normally they wouldn't, I don't think, end an event at 4 p.m. like that. At the top here, we've had these Great Thanks campaigns popping up for the past couple of months since they announced that this was going away. Yep, 1600 on March 31st, JST. And I have signed up to transfer my album over to the upcoming School Idol Festival 2. There is actually I'll zoom in a little bit here. There is, am I not in focus? I can't tell. Switch this to autofocus maybe. All right, maybe that'll work. And my camera on manual focus, since it was not working well on autofocus for a different video I'm currently working on and need to have done in 36 hours. But yeah, there is an upcoming School Idol Festival 2, so basically a successor proper rhythm game to this game. All Stars was already kind of a sequel to this game, but it was, like I said, more of a spin-off with a different gameplay mechanic. They do have an upcoming sequel that is going to be apparently more of a rhythm game from what I've gathered. And I have signed up to have my album from this game transferred over to the new one. I think you only have to sign up once. I don't think you have to keep, updating your sign up when you earn new things in this game. And the transfer was not available to people in the EU because of the EU's data privacy laws. I don't know what that says about the transfer process. Some EU people were upset about that. I kind of laugh at it because that's what EU gets for passing laws like that. This was a very long announcement. Honestly, I normally don't pay attention to these a whole lot. I was paying attention to the events that were going on a little bit. The type of event, there are multiple types of events that can go on. The one that I sunk a bunch of time into was a medley event, where basically it would give you sets of 3 songs at a time. I think you could choose 1, 2, or 3 songs, but you got the most points. You got sort of combos if you did 3 songs at once. And then sometimes it would give you an encore 4th song that would earn even more points. And then you just had to build up points to earn things. Remember skill effects. So yeah, sometimes they have known issues, and that issue has been resolved. They're probably not going to be too worried about... plan to be resolved after midnight on 31st March. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, any major incidents they're having, they probably aren't going to be highest priority anymore, since they are shutting the game down in a couple of hours. So this is the menu. Yohane is talking there. And yeah, it's interesting. School Idol Festival All-Stars was very dynamic. On the menu, for instance, Yohane would actually be sort of standing there, her arms would be swaying, and it would be a 3D model. Everything in School Idol Festival, this older game, it was very 2D, very classic. Game data transfer. Yes. Tap close to keep your setting. Yes, close. That's the first time this has shown up, I think, right here in the main section, the game data transfer. As you can see, you have a sticker you can set for your user. We also have wallpapers we can set. I only have one wallpaper. Okay. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. But yeah, basically, I'll show you what the live shows looked like. Yeah, there's no events or anything. We can't swipe through anything here, can we? Special comic series. Interesting. So the main part of this game, like I said, I'll just look at the rhythm game aspects first. And actually, well, we'll do a song first. So I'll go to live show. And most of the songs that I did, a whole bunch, were encore songs, since the event that I was doing was it was a Ruby, Kurosawa, and Hanamaru centric story. So yeah, I ended up doing just a whole lot of encore songs during that. Okay, so I'll go ahead, I'll try a couple of songs here, just to sort of show you what the gameplay was like. So we're gonna do step 0 to 1 here, and you can only do a certain number of songs concurrently. I have, it looks like, 235 live points, and it spends 15 every time you play a game. So you can't sit here playing it all day. Once you run out of live points, you actually have to wait a while for it to regenerate. You might be able to spend in-game currency to get it back. But I'm going to tap that song. You can choose people from your friends list. These are all actual other players that I have friended from collaborating in other events. Some events you actually work together with other players, multiple players play the same song at the same time, and then it sort of adds all your points up, and you try to have milestones that you all reach as a group with your points. But then you can select one of your friends to give you sort of a special bonus power. So this is my team that I've assembled. On the far left, this is the character, or sort of the avatar for Ruby that I earned from completing that event, or getting enough points in that event. This was the goal. It wasn't even the highest reward that they had in that event, but it was the reward. It was an S rank character, which I knew was like the most rare type of character, and I wanted that character. It's Ruby, and she's wearing sort of an outdoor outfit because they were looking for ladybugs out in some park, or fireflies out in some park in this story. I don't actually want to change that. But yeah, I've still got Yohane, the character that I selected when I first signed up, is like my partner for the game. That's why she's on the home screen. She's in the center there. And yeah, I've got some other people. I've got, I think someone from, I don't know if I have anyone from Nijigasaki in here, actually. Got a couple people from Muse, Cheek on the end there. So yeah, go ahead and tap OK. Now there's two different ways that you can sort of play this game. The first one that I did originally, I'll do here, and that is using your fingers with the phone set down on a surface. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks like 9 bubbles here. So as the music's going, you have to hit these buttons. And you build up combos, which is really the only way to get good scores in this, is with the combos. Oh, and so I've missed some. I've broken the combo, as you can see how that works. So that's how it kind of works. You could see my score bar going up on the top there. Obviously, you try to get an S rank at the end. I've gotten A's a couple of times. Normally, if I get a B, I'm doing all right. If I get an A, I'm doing very well. And it seems like my recording stopped. I wonder what that's about. So I'll start that again. All right, and that's going again. When you play songs, you get rewards. And now it's going to tell me how I did. Special reward box has appeared. Would you like to earn points for the special reward box instead? Your progress with the current reward box will be saved, sure. So your points kind of build up to get you rewards as well. Just sort of in-game things, characters, items you can spend on things. I never got too into all of it. But yeah, as you can see, I had 68% perfect, quote-unquote, notes in there. Some of my characters actually have sort of buffs that make the timing window to achieve a perfect note a little bit wider. So the perfect percent would actually be lower if I didn't have those characters in there. But yeah, perfect and I think great count towards your streak. Good does not count toward the streak. Bad and miss obviously don't. When you hit the notes, as you could hear, it sort of plays a tambourine sound, and it's slightly different based on how well you hit it, how well your timing was. So you can sort of adjust using those audio cues as well. But yeah, It's got a performance meter, so it tells you throughout the song how well you were doing. For me, fell apart towards the end there. Oh, I accidentally moved on to the next screen. As you can see, you come across new characters. This is an in-rank character, so just a normal, non-rare character here. Got the max number of club members. The club member management is one thing I never fully understood in this game. Now the bond bonus, I'm going to show you how this works in a minute. As you can see, all of my bonds are currently sort of maximized. And you need to maximize the bond for a character and quote-unquote idolize them in order to unlock their story. Every single character, even the tiny ones, these two characters, for instance, second from the left and second from the right, they are not real characters from the anime. They're just original to the game, and they have like 2-second stories, like very, very short stories, literally just maybe less than 20 lines of dialogue, probably around 10 lines of dialogue, just giving you some, interaction of these characters in whatever fictional Japanese high school they go to, talking about being a school idol. So they start out in sort of casual clothes. Once you play their story, or once you idolize them in order to unlock the story, then they change into idol outfits. Song goals. There's all kinds of mechanics in this game that you just have to sort of tune out a lot of them. So to show you how those bonds work, it looks like sometimes the game, this is actually pretty rare, but sometimes the game will actually send a different character than your partner to the menu just to say hello to you. Yeah, we're aware, Nico. So if we go over to members and we go to, special practice, I believe, is how you unlock the stories. Now, if I can find a character who I have maximized, I think I need to find her in my roster first. So members, team formation, and who is this person? Okay, so she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the left on the top. So now I'm gonna go back to members and special practice. She's not in the same spot. Okay, well, if we just tap any of these, let's see. And this might actually work with regular practice and not special practice now that I think about it. Practice. Okay, well, this is, okay. It's giving me all the people who are in my team right now, flashing that indicator at the bottom, so that's helpful. So this is how you unlock stories. Once their bond is maximized, then you have to practice with them in order to idolize them. Now, the practice partners, no matching members. This is what I had an issue with. You basically have to sacrifice some people from your roster in order to idolize other members. And I never quite understood exactly how you were supposed to 100% all the, unlock all the stories if you're having to sacrifice characters who you haven't unlocked yet. As you can see, I've unchecked include members with locked side stories. And so the special practice, I think, is a way to get around that. If you've got more than one of the same member, then you can possibly unlock the story by doing a special practice instead. But I'm not seeing the character in here. As you can see, I've got a lot of characters in here who I have more than one of. So I can, for instance, this character, Chiduko Sakamaki. I can sacrifice the level 10 version of this person in order to idolize the level 15 version. Special practice. So yeah, when you hold a practice with a member, it removes them from your roster, but now this one that I have practiced with, she just turned into an idol. She's been idolized. Her bond is at 0, so she won't have a story yet, but I can try to find her, add her to the team. So if you tap on the card, sort of just a collectible virtual card to show that you've collected and unlocked and idolized that character, Chiduko Sakamaki. So yeah, I'll try to unlock her bond or maximize her bond with the next song, because it only takes a song or two to do that for normal characters. But if we go back to members, the way that it works with regular practice is it's very similar. But like I said, we're just going to sacrifice completely unrelated characters. So I'm going to include members with locked side stories. And it's actually going to suggest 2 Johannes and a Nico? Why would I do that? That is really weird. Select lower level members first. Okay. So yeah, it seems the higher level a character is, the more they'll count towards this. But I'm just going to sacrifice a bunch of low level characters just to show how this unlocking process works. I guess this means they won't carry over to the Sif 2 album that I mentioned, but I don't know what they're going to do for me there anyway. So I'm going to tap practice. So that is going to idolize this character. Ultra success. I've never seen it fail, since there is no actual mechanic to that. Wait, level up. Level up. Level up. Okay, I think if she reaches 30, that's when she becomes idolized. So we'll see what happens here. 24, 25. I hope it gets to 30 and I don't have to sacrifice more people. And this is kind of monotonous. Japanese games are just kind of a lot of waiting sometimes. Okay, well, she's not idolized yet. That's strange. So how do we idolize? See, I never did completely figure it out, did I? We've got training, no eligible members found. Practice. So she's max level. Special practice. I'm not seeing that character here. Oh, is this her? One of these? This might be it. No, the level's not maxed on this one. I don't think it's the same character. But yeah, it just changes their costume when you idolize them. And then what that does when you do idolize them and maximize their bond, do we have any side stories available? We don't. We just have Nijigasaki stories. And I never bothered playing all of the Niji stories since the stories here in Original Squad Festival are very, very simple, and Nijigasaki has an entire game to themselves with All-Stars anyway. Let's see. Okay, well, let me go to my team formation, I guess, and replace this maxed character with... Who's the character I just idolized? If I... restrict this to only idolized characters... Who is the one I just idolized? Was it her? If I go back to members now, member list, team. Team members should be first. Okay. Yeah, so her bond is at 0. Needs to get to 50. She's only at level 15 of 40, but she's already idolized. So I clearly didn't understand how the levels impacted idolization there. But let's play another couple songs just to maximize the bond and show how it works when you get a story. Trying to find songs that I've actually played. I normally play on the hard difficulty. I only have 2 Aquor songs available on the B-sides. Okay, this was a more difficult song. I have played this one before. So for this song, I'm going to hold the phone in my hands. I know it's dark, but you can see I'm going to be using my thumbs instead of my pointer fingers this time. It's really difficult. My previous phone would have worked great with this because it was a little bit smaller. The Xiaomi Mi 10T, it's just big enough to where it's cumbersome to reach a thumb all the way to the middle, especially if you're holding the phone all the way in your hands. I had to sort of lower my grasp to actually be able to reach my thumbs all the way over. I think I've played this song. Yeah, I have. And looks like our recording has stopped once again, so we will start it once again. Okay, and we'll just select any partner here. All right, so we'll play this song. See how many bond points it gets us. All right, didn't even make a B on that one. Okay, the recording is still working. I wasn't sure if it stopped. If I do cut and use any of the camera's audio for the phone here, since my microphone's not pointed at the phone, you might have been able to hear I'm actually covering up the speakers unintentionally sometimes when I'm grasping the phone like that. And I found actually the pointer fingers seemed like the easier way to do this when I first started playing on lower levels. When I moved up into the harder difficulties, the thumbs actually got easier to work with than the pointers for just the faster and more involved beat maps, or whatever they call those maps here. So we should see here, okay, earning more new members. Okay, so we got about halfway up that bond level, so we'll do one more song to get that all the way up. The rest of the characters didn't change because they were all already maxed. But yes, let me see if I can flip the phone over here. Need to enable rotation. Android gets more cumbersome every update. Okay. Probably a good idea for me to restart the screen recording after doing that. And I didn't actually know it repeated the finish sound like that before today because I've never stuck around on the results screen for that long before. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing as well as I otherwise might. What am I getting notifications for? Just simply because I'm currently hunched over, leaning sort of over my microphone and around my tripod. So yeah, I'm at a disadvantage here. But I'm trying to find songs that I've played. I know I played a bunch of Awkward B-sides. I don't know where they all went. It's really weird all the B-sides are gone. Team? Yeah. Oh, some of these are just... Huh. Yeah, I don't know where all of my songs went. There's a bunch of songs that I think I would normally play are just missing here. Why do I only have 3 songs available? This makes no sense. What happened? Okay, well, I don't know where all of my songs went. All of my Awkward B-side songs. Yeah, it's really bizarre that a bunch of them are just missing. But we'll play Yume Kataru Yori. It's one of my favorite songs from the show. Season 1 credit music. Oh, did I just pass on? What happened? I don't know what I just clicked to exit the live show. Okay, we'll play this, maximize the bond, and we'll get moving here. Try and get into a more comfortable position so I can not mess this one up terribly. All right. Yeah, I don't know if some of the B-sides that I thought I had unlocked, maybe I didn't actually have them unlocked. I just experienced them in that event because that medley event, had specific songs that were in the pool for it, and that's why they were all Aqua songs, because it was an Aqua event. The group name might actually be pronounced Aqua, but I refuse to ignore the spelling that much. Okay, so we have unlocked that member's side story now since we just maximized her bond points and she was idolized. And those are the two conditions to unlock a side story. Idolize them, maximize their bond points. Normally I do it in the opposite order, but yeah. So we'll go and take a look at where that is. Just checking that my recording's still going on the phone here. All right, so we'll go back to the home screen and we'll go into the story section now. Now it's interesting, the main characters' stories, they're split up into group. We've got main story with Muse, main story Akor, and then side stories for Muse, Akor, Niji, and Layla, and then other stories for Muse, Akor, Niji, and Layla. It's interesting they have side stories and other stories, which sound like the same thing. I don't know if that's a translation quirk. Now in the side stories, they're all flashing new. And none of them were flashing before. The reason they're all flashing new now is because, for some reason, if I go into Muse here, they've got the Muse girls, and then under others, they just have all of the side characters in there. Now, if we go into Akor, once again, they have all the Akor characters, and then under others, they've got all of the side characters, because the side characters aren't from any of the anime shows. And so they don't have anywhere to sort them into. So instead of putting them in their own separate section, they just put them in all of the other sections. It's a really weird UI. But we can go in here. When you play a story, it has to download the sprites in the story. But yeah, this is how unsubstantial these side character stories normally are. And they're not even voiced for the side characters. They don't have voice acting. I'm happy you came to see me off. I'm always searching for you in the crowd when I'm on stage. Time always flies when I'm with you. Why the long face? You don't want to be apart. I feel the same way. So this is, I think this is 5 lines. 6 lines. You should go back to your seat in the audience. Wow, normally they're not this, do I have to seal your lips so you can't say another word? Okay, that was about 10 lines of story, and it wasn't really a story. As you can see, that's what these side character stories really are. They are nothing substantial whatsoever, just a very brief interaction, just out of context. And I get a love gem for clearing a side story. But yeah, now there is no more new side story showing up for any of the teams. There is a new main story showing up somehow. What's a school idol? Boy, I don't know how I missed this story until right now. All right, guys, and this video actually went pretty long. It got a little bit cumbersome to upload, so I'm going to go ahead and split it in half right here. In part 2, we're going to take a look at a much longer event story with Ruby and the Fireflies, and I'm also going to play a couple more songs. So tune into that next time if you still want to see a little bit more of this game, but for now, I hope this is entertaining to people who might not have known about this game, or nostalgic for people who did know about it. I'm Jacob Kaufman with Moe in the Mountains and Nerd on the Street Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next part.